I have a good one. I have an interesting one for... we have a few other ones, but... Okay.
If you're watching this video now...
Sorry. Oops. Either way. I have not pre-watched these videos. So, I have not pre-watched any of these videos. So, this is, but I've only added ones that I would like to. Like, I watch a lot of React content, and I only add videos that I'm like, oh, I like that one. I like what that looks like. I'll watch that one. Only when I think I have something good to say. If I watch a video on, like, the downfall of Pee Pee Poo Poo Peanut, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I would have nothing to add to this video. Or, like, Disney adult stuff. I'm like, shout out Cameron. I've obviously watched this stuff. But, like, it's like, Disney adults, it's like, I don't really have much to say. Like, I could probably think of some stuff to say on Disney adults, but whatever. But either way, we have the hell of working retail. Oh my god, most jobs I've worked have been retail, and oh my god, customers make me realize why people hurt each other. Dealing with customers has made me realize, oh, this is why people hurt each other. This is why war exists. It's like a clairvoyant, it's like my brain expanded. I get it now. I get why people destroy each other. Regardless, I think... What's my worst retail experience? Oh shoot, I don't have the YouTube chat up. What's my worst retail experience? I can't imagine it off the top of my head, but like I found a bundle of used needles and toilets. I've had people yell at me because I didn't give them a big enough bag with their order, even though we're not allowed to use big bags for small orders. I've had people lie to me. They've been like, you know what I've had? When I worked at a nut shop, you could mix and match nuts, right? You could put some peanuts in with some cashews. You could do that. People told me, yeah, I'm getting it from my brother. He's slightly allergic to peanuts. So if you could put less peanuts in there. My God, do you think I'm stupid? I was 17 at the time. So granted, they probably thought they were getting slick, but I was just like, yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. I wasn't a fighter. I didn't have the attitude I did now. But even my coworker was like, did that guy just say his brother was slightly allergic to peanuts? So essentially why he said that was because he wanted cashews and peanuts, but he wanted less cashews. Or he wanted less peanuts and more cashews, because cashews are way more expensive than peanuts. So he kind of wanted to fill the bag. He wanted to kind of get some filler in there, but still get his money's worth. Which, it didn't make a difference, because we still charged him for how much cashews there were. Regardless, you know what I mean? So either way, it didn't really change the price of anything. But regardless, and like people say stuff like that all the time. They think you're stupid. Stupid people think you're so stupid. And that's how you know that they're stupid people. They're like, do you think I'm an idiot? You genuinely believe I'm going to fall for this? You think, if your brother's allergic to peanuts, don't get peanuts. You know what I mean? I think that's the worst lie I've ever heard. That's the worst lie I've ever heard. But like, obviously, the place I work now, people have called and complained about orders. Like, people will call and I've told this story many times. When my wife used to work with me, and they would call, they would complain, and they would yell at my wife. And so I'd show up at the door, and I do flex this, because I don't know how I was genetically gifted. My biological dad is like 5'8". My mom is like 4'2". That's not true. She's a little taller than that. But then I show up. As I am right now, I think back then I would have been like 230. I was like 230, 6'4". I'd show up to their house after they yelled at my wife. Obviously, I'd be like, I had a bit of a fucking look to me. Because I was like, annoyed. I was pissed off. They'd be like, oh, you better not fuck it up this time. Or, you really fucked it up this time. I want a new one. I'd show up to their house. Nothing negative to say. And maybe they were just two-faced. Maybe they were genuinely just two-faced and they thought they could get away with it. But, regardless of what the outcome was, I was like, yeah, you don't got nothing to say to me. But I actually found out that those same people, we had to ban those people. Because other drivers who, like the women drivers would go to their houses and they would just get torn apart by the customers. Like, what is your problem? What is your problem? So again, I've dealt with minimal of it because You know, if you get a guy like, I remember one guy specifically. He lived in an apartment complex. There's like, it's like, you know, the main door, the stairs down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, right? It's like one of those compact ones. There's the stairs down, the stairs up, and each one has like 4 doors, right? And one guy, he lived on like the bottom floor, right? So he was like beneath everyone, like double wise. And this guy was also like 5 foot something. And I show up and I'm like a foot taller than him. And he was yelling at my wife on the phone, and all of a sudden he's got nothing to say. And I was like, no, go ahead, bro. Yeah, I've got anger issues. Let me get some. I don't have anger issues anymore. I've been working really hard on them. But back then, again, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I was kind of hoping they would start something. I was kind of hoping they'd say something so I could be like, yeah, go on, bro. Yell at me. Go on. I don't know. I don't think I really would have done anything other than just like yell back or just insult them. Obviously, I would never hurt them, right? But unless they attacked me, well then that's self-defense. But regardless, either way, I've dealt with some crazy people over the years. Anyway, let's get into the video. It's talking about, oh, I'm clicked on that.
If you're watching this video right now, there's a good chance that you just got your first retail job, and you're probably wondering what to expect.
Not first one, but what was my first one? Oh yeah, mine was working at the candy and nut shop. It was pretty okay. The customers, there were some bad customers. It was a farmer's market, so the demographic was old, racist white people. You can imagine how that went.
You're probably nervous. Your first day at work is pretty soon, and you're about to go into a whole new environment.
Oh, let me put this on max. Oh, it's already on max quality. Okay.
Make new friends and have a great time is what I want to say. Why did you apply? Turn back while you still can. Turn back now. As somebody who's been working in
absolutely just don't work retail. No, actually, I recommend this to most people. Work retail and then don't do it again ever. Work retail so you understand the scum of the earth. And I don't say that lightly. Work retail so you feel that hatred for humanity, and then go work something else. It will make you to understand the kind of BS you are put through as a retail worker. It makes you a kinder person. You just need a little bit. If you get a little bit of retail experience, it makes you a nicer person. You get too much retail experience, you just hatred. You're just full of hatred and anger. You gotta get that little bit, and you're like, oh, these people suck. I want to treat the world better. Because being retail is like bottom of the barrel. People don't even treat you like human. Customers don't even want to pretend you're human sometimes. They're just like, you're the food, bitch. Make my food, bitch. That's how they act. It's baffling, honestly.
So for about 2 years now, I thought I would give my own personal experiences.
2 years? I think I've got 1, 5. Oh, God. I'm old now, bro. I've got about 8 years of retail experience, and I think it has made me a worse person overall.
On the horrors of working in retail. Right off the bat, you're faced with a really big problem, getting hired in the first place. For some reason, trying to successfully land a retail job is one of the hardest things you could do in the whole world. Honestly, you might as
No. Wait, hold on. Let me go back a little bit, though. But I want to say comment on that. Landing a retail job, you want to know a red flag? If a and I mean this genuinely, if you can afford to just quit a job, just do it. If you're living with your parents and you just want to leave a place, if they hire you on the spot, leave. I remember the worst job I've ever worked. Okay, let me paint a picture for you. I showed up to this job. I showed up to this place. It was down the street, so I could walk to the job. I showed up with a fucked up shirt and ripped ass jeans. My entire knee was exposed in those jeans. And they hired me on the spot. And I was like, I look like a bum. They didn't even read my application. I handed in my application. They didn't even read it. They just accepted it. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. Either way, that was the worst job I ever worked. The people there were maliciously evil. They were awful. I'm gonna spare the story because I'll probably tell it later in the line, and we're gonna watch the actual video. But like, don't. If a place hires you on the spot, they are desperate. They have like a 200% turnover rate. Leave, run. If a place is too easy to get into, the bar is in hell because everyone sucks.
Your face.
The workers that already are there, I mean.
With a really big problem, getting hired in the first place. For some reason, trying to successfully land a retail job is one of the hardest things you could do in the whole world. Honestly, you might as well apply for the CIA. You have about the same chances of getting in. The only reason I was able to get my current job now is because I already knew someone that was working there, and he was able to put in a good word for me, so I didn't really have to do too much. But if I didn't have him...
That's honestly a huge hack. Have a friend that has a good place that you're like, I can work here, and have them put in a good word for you. I think that goes farther than most other things. If someone is a valued employee and they're like, yeah, this guy's pretty good, that's like genuinely like the best way to get into a good place.
I would have been so cooked. I've heard of people waiting weeks or even months just for the response to be no. But then they'll complain about how they need people but won't hire anyone. But after days of waiting, you finally get the call and you have been drafted to Walmart. I know. What a beautiful moment. This is going to shape your life forever. What a beautiful moment this is. You haven't actually been hired yet. We're actually calling you for an interview. We saw your application. We thought you'd be a great fit. Oh yeah, you just submitted your application. We have to go through the interview process, which is way harder than it should be. You get to the store and you're...
Interviews are stupid, and maybe I'm just autistic, and the rules of society I just hate, because I'm like, this shit's all made up. Like, these rules are all made up. But I've seen people say, yeah, I'm going back to Walmart for my third round of interviews. Like, you need to understand, grocery stores need to understand what the fuck they are, right? Like, if you're a grocery store, if you're Giant or Walmart or Target, and you're doing 4 rounds of interviews, just crucify me. Just do it. Just torture me. Just waterboard me for 4 hours and then hire me. I don't want to do 4 interviews. I'm not doing that. But you need, you need a job, right? Obviously, you're gonna suck through it. Job market kind of poopy right now. You're gonna go through it. But like, what? Why? Do you really need to figure out who's the absolute best? You're putting shit on a shelf. It's third shift. I put the item where the item goes. Do I look like I can't put the square in the square hole? Do you really need to? Do you need to test me like we're at a daycare and need to make sure that I'm a child with an IQ above 12? So you can trust me to handle my own pizza slice on a paper plate and I don't drop it on the floor? I don't know where this metaphor's going.
Already walking around lost because it's probably your first time there if it isn't the only grocery store in your whole town. You find the place, walk in for your interview, and you're already going into this with the expectation that you're gonna have to BS your whole way through this. They're gonna ask you the most basic questions, and you're gonna have to find a basic response to fit each question. Even if the question is something stupid like, why do you want to work here? Well, I need money, duh. Well, actually...
Yeah, why do you want to work here? I don't. I just need money. I actually don't want to work here at all, but it's walking distance, and the pay is money.
Actually, I think my future is very bright here. I can see myself going far into the company, and even potentially setting up my future with this establishment, of course. Even though you're about 90% sure that you know that the other person knows that you're lying, you still have to say what's best for the moment. Because there's no way I bought khaki pants just to not get a job. Other questions?
Yeah. How often do interviewers know you're just straight up lying through your teeth? You go and you say, oh, I think I would be an acceptable match here. I would love to make my way in the pyramid scheme that is the employment range here. I would love to one day maybe work up to $1 more than I make 6 years from now? What the hell did I just say? I would love to... Oh, whatever. I fucked up the joke. But, like, yeah, no. It's, like... Do they know? Is it just... Are they just... It's a lie test. How well can you lie? How well... Because that's what you do to customers, right? Do you have any in the back? Oh, no. Sorry, we're out. Do you know what this is? Oh, I'm sorry. I just don't know. It's just... You're just lying. Oh, there's none of this isn't in stock. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I don't care. Listen, that's the thing, right? Like, I understand. As a customer, I'm a customer, and well, obviously I'm a customer. I buy things. I buy groceries. But as a customer, I'm like, yeah, I want to pay for this. I want this. I buy this, right? But as a worker, I'm like, there's nothing I can do, man. Sometimes, like, the customer comes to you with a situation, and they're like they're real worked up about it, and you as a human are like, yeah, I kind of sympathize with that, but there's nothing I can do. Like, let's say this, right? A customer goes into a pizza place, they take the pizza out, they drop their pizza on the floor, right? They drop their pizza on the floor, and then they come back in and they're like, hey, I just dropped my pizza straight on the concrete. And it's like, listen, man, I am so sorry, but there's not a goddamn thing I can do about it. If I give you a free pizza, I will get fired. I hope you understand that. I can't do that. If I owned the store, I would do that. If I was anything other than a grunt, I would do that for you. Listen, I understand that. But there's not a goddamn thing I can do. And that breaks my fucking heart. I need you customers to understand this. It breaks my fucking heart. I don't want you to just go home defeated. That sucks. Genuinely, it's like the worst feeling. You're like, oh, I'm so excited to eat this pizza. I'm so excited. I just spent $20 on it. It's a little expensive for one pizza, but I'm so excited. Let's go eat this. You drop it on the floor. I can't, like... It's defeat. It's an evil stretch of the universe just slapping you on the ass. It's awful. You come back in, you're like, man, I just dropped my pizza on the floor. Like, you're on the verge of tears. I'm gonna start crying. If you start crying, and you're like, yeah, man, I just dropped my pizza on the floor. I was thinking about this all day at work. I was so excited. And then, me as a grunt, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. It feels like a funeral. It feels like a funeral. I'm sorry that I can't help you. And it sucks for everyone involved, but I'm just a worker and I'm nothing else. I have no clearance. I'm sorry. And then the customers have two ways. They're like, yeah, man, I get it. And it feels worse. The customer says, yeah, man, I get it. I understand. And they walk out defeated. And now I'm like, I'm a monster. I feel like a monster. I feel like I'm the worst person on earth. Or the customer gets angry at me, and it's like, I couldn't do anything anyway. Do you think yelling at me? See, that's the thing, right? A lot of the times, you say, I'm sorry, man, there's nothing I can do. And the customer thinks that you're the owner of the place. The customer thinks that you own everything in the store. They're like, yes, you can. It's like, I'll get fired if I do that. No, I can't. I need this money more than you need your pizza. They start yelling at you, and people start yelling as if yelling is going to get their way ever. I don't think yelling has ever gotten you your way when something messes up in the food. You know what I mean? Like, the logic there is insane.
They might ask you are you able to work fast and able to adapt fast? And even if you aren't, you better just say yes. Because if you don't, they're about to give you the death stare of doom. They're gonna look you so deep in your eyes that you're gonna feel every ounce of hate that she has mustered up from working at this Walmart for 15 years. One way of knowing if you got the job or not is by who's there at your interview. Like, for example, if you walk into your interview and sit down and see the store manager there, just know you got the job. There's a good chance that they are talking about you and that person came to see you in person. But if you walk into just you and the interviewer, and then they hit you with the "we'll keep in touch" at the end of the interview, there's a good chance you to get the job. And if that's you,
the "we'll keep in touch," sometimes they keep in touch. But more often, it's like the I have a boyfriend, right? If a girl tells you I have a boyfriend, well, sometimes they have a boyfriend. Sometimes you're being creepy. Well, actually, that's not a good metaphor, because at that situation, you're at fault. That's a bad metaphor. Sometimes stores just aren't interested. That works. But sometimes they'll say, we'll keep in touch, because they're just like, maybe, but just, no. Which is crazy. It's crazy for a supermarket to do that, right? They'll be like, we could hire you, but we just want someone better. It's like, you are a grocery store. Lower your fucking standards, please. I need money.
Those next couple days of waiting and praying and hoping that you get the phone call back are going to be so stressful. You're going to be checking your phone every single second of the day, praying and hoping that you get the notification. And when you look at your phone, turns out it's just DoorDash. But after a couple days of waiting, you finally get the call. You are now an official Walmart employee. And even better, you are no longer unemployed. Well, kind of. You're kind of not unemployed. Kind of. Because even though they gave you the official Walmart certification and they gave you your vest and your hat, you still have no hours. I'm unsure who's in charge of making the schedule for new employees, but that person does not give a fuck about your life. Because how...
Bro, sometimes I've been to a place... Bro, I've been to a place, a grocery store, where they'll have one person work for 3 hours for like 2 days. Like, a grown-ass man will work 2 days for 3 hours. 6 hours a week. You're not making any money. Oh my god, you're not making any money. And, like, the other guys working, like, 6 days a week, 7 hours each, 8 hours. It's like, what are we doing? And then we'll have, like, 4 people. There'll be, like, 4 people on the schedule working 2 hours for 3 days. It's like, that's 6 hours. That's 6 hours. You have all these people working 6 hours. Just, why'd you hire these people? Why'd you hire all these people? You could have just had one man working 5 days a week. 4 hours a day. 4 hours isn't even that crazy. That's more than 3 every 2 hours. I don't know. But like, I remember, because this is the same grocery store. But I got promoted because I work, whatever. And I forget my train of thought. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this is a little bit of a different topic. But I'll talk about this anyway. So, when I got promoted, right? This is what hard work gets you. I worked hard, I showed that I could work hard. They gave me more work, gave me more hours. You know what they gave me for money? A 16-cent raise. 16 cents per hour. You know what that does? I'll give you a hint. Fucking nothing. You know what 16 cents an hour does? Let's do the math real quick. All right? Let's say back when I was working about 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay? Let's do 5 times 9. That's 45 hours. 45 times 16 cents. You want to know how much money that is? $7 a week. That was my payment for being a hard and dedicated worker. And I took on essentially 1.5 times the workload. Which was, it felt like an insult. It was generally an insult. And that place was retail. That place was a grocery store. Sorry, I'm resetting things up. My phone hates when I exit Twitch. Anyway, here we go. But yeah, no, it was just... Yeah, just 6... And that's when everyone got raises. So that raise was before I even got more workload. I didn't get paid more for my workload. Because I had to break down the truck, put things on boats, so I would come in at like 9 p.m. and then I would leave at about 5 p.m. That's 12. That's 4 hours less than 12. Oh, so that was an 8-hour shift. That's an 8-hour shift. 9 to 5. That's an 8-hour shift. So that's not too bad.
How is it possible?
But still, they added an extra hour onto my time. They added an extra like 2 hours onto my time because I'd usually come in about 10. 11, leave at 6, and then I went from 9 to 5, and they gave me no extra money, and I did so much more work. And it's just because they can. They're just gonna give you more work just because they can. Because you've proven that you will just do more work. So that is another piece of advice. If you work at retail, don't do more work. Do the minimum. You're not, unless the workplace, unless it's a mom and pop shop. If it's a mom and pop shop like retail, like a deli or like a like I worked at, like the nut shop, the candy and nut shop in the farmer's market. So my boss would have given me a raise. I was only there for a year because the farmer's market closed down. But yeah, no. If you're in a big corporation like Walmart or Giant, don't bother doing extra work, bro. They're not paying you anything else.
I'm working 40 plus hours one week and then off for 2 months. How does that make any sense? It's a whole lot worse when you randomly get shifts added to your schedule.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can have a...
Oh, yeah. Like, that's another thing. Is people, you'll get hired and then they'll be like, yeah, you work 1 day this week. It's like, what do you mean I'm working 1 day? You need one person for 1 day this week. You couldn't find any extra work for me to do? That's it. It feels like I'd rather just you torture me.
Whole week planned out, fun activities you and your friends are gonna do, and then you randomly look at your phone and see you have 5 shifts added to your schedule. Did you even think to ask me? Now my whole week is filled with doom and despair. And what's even worse,
that I haven't had that happen to me, but just adding shifts, they gotta run that by you, right? Am I crazy? Maybe I misunderstand how many rights I have as an American. But they gotta run that by you, right? Because what if you can't? What if you can't work that shift? You're like, oh, I got a dental appointment, and I can't cancel it. It's like, oh, that sucks. I mean, granted, they'd probably do that. That's crazy, though. Just adding shifts without even letting you know. I would quit. I would quit. If I could afford to quit, I would quit that spot. If I couldn't afford to quit, I guess, we ball, fuck it out shit.
if they do somehow give you hours, all you get is those short 3-hour shifts. What am I gonna do with $50, bro? Like, you're really showing up to work just to say hi and bye and leave. But the worst part comes when you finally start working and you realize the mess you just got yourself into. You see, when you first get hired, you go through something called the 7-day free trial period, where for the first 7 days of your job, everybody loves you, they're great, they're the nicest people on planet Earth. But after those 7 days are up, they hate you, and you realize the type of store that you're in. One of the biggest ways you know you're screwed is by how your managers and bosses act, because when it comes to retail, you either get one of two bosses. One, super chill, super friendly, and loves their job. Two, they hate you, and everybody around them too. I wish I could...
I have never had a super friendly boss. I've had super friendly snakes as like managers, where it's just like they're super friendly, but they'll just like they'll schedule you for one day and then they'll be like, hey, can you work this day, this day, this day, this day? It's just like, just schedule me, bro. Or they'll do shit where it's like, yeah, we're actually gonna take, normally you do the kitten daycare. Normally you're on kitten daycare duty. We're actually gonna put you on Rottweiler wrangling today. Yeah, sorry, just go fuck yourself. Actually, oh no, the guy who usually does it comes in, but we're gonna give him a little bit of a break. So we're gonna send you over there to like help him out. It's like, well, he does this by himself every day, doesn't he? He's like, yeah, we're gonna go help him today because we don't need the help over here. It's like, if we don't need the help over here, just send me home. It's like, we could, but you're scheduled for one day next week, so we're gonna make you work while you're here. It's like, just schedule me for more days next week. Why do you even have me? It's a whole bunch of bullshit.
Figure out the science of why retail managers always think they're better than you. Like, never in my life have I seen...
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'll be quick. Yeah, I had a manager who worked at Applebee's and came to the grocery store I worked, and he pretended like he knew everything. It's like, dog, you came from Applebee's. That's like bottom tier restaurant. That's like bottom tier. It's like, that's hardly below Olive Garden. Hardly above Olive Garden? I don't think nah. That's like around Olive Garden tier, right? You're like just above Denny's. You know what I mean? If you're Applebee's, it's like just above Denny's. I don't know what experience you think you have. You're not using it here. You've got nothing to show me, bro. Everything you want to teach me, I learned in 2nd grade. You're not. And then they act like just because they're manager, like you have so much to learn from them. They act like everything they teach you is incredibly important. You should write it down. Like, the manager from Applebee's would be like, yeah, make sure to pull all the items front. It's very important. It's like, man, I've worked here for 3 years. I knew this. You're telling me things I already know. You just got here. You just got here. Why are you telling me? That's an actual experience of mine.
A more average person try to act like a celebrity. They will boss you around and talk to you however they want with no care in the world, while also not even doing half of the work I do but getting paid 3 times
Yes!
more. I remember working.
Yeah, the same manager would show up. That's a few managers, and that manager included, the one from Applebee's, and a few other managers. They would go up to their office, they'd do whatever they do in their office, they'd do actual work for like an hour, then they go back up to their office, and then they get paid 8 times more. Meanwhile, I'm moving all the product. I'm making sure all the product is there. I'm moving all of it. I'm organizing the back. I'm like helping with inventory. I'm doing all this. This guy sits on his fucking desk for like 7 hours out of his shift. I've seen you watching YouTube up there. I see you on your phone. You're watching Instagram Reels on your computer. You got the screen up pretending like you're doing something. You're sitting like this looking at Instagram. You get paid 4 times more than I do? It's all a scam. I'm so like, it's got to be like, oh, this is just my friend. Like, I swear to God, like the store owner, whoever like manages, the biggest manager, just hires friends and it's like, yeah. No, we're chill. I've never met, I'm so... Except for when I worked at a concrete plant. That was the only time I've ever seen a manager that like actually felt like they managed things. Because managers at grocery stores are just like, you do aisle 8, you do aisle 6, you do aisle 5. It's like, well, I could have told you that. I do aisle 5 every fucking night. What do you mean? Is this how you manage things? Is this your managing? Yeah, big man, you're doing aisle 5 tonight. I do it every night. And then I move to aisle 6 to help out Todd because he's slow. But he just got a $1 raise because he's a new hire. So he's getting paid more because people aren't settling for $15 an hour anymore. Well, whatever, man. Go watch porn at your desk, bro. Whatever.
My first week at Walmart and asking one of my bosses for help just for her to stick her finger in her mouth and then swipe on my phone with the same finger she had in her mouth. She literally left a stain on my screen. That's how little they care. If you're lucky, you have some very...
Do you work in hell? What the hell? Is that Walmart? Yeah, Walmart is hell. Never mind, I shouldn't be surprised.
Patient managers who understand what you're going through and are there to help you and are there to make you more comfortable at work. But if you aren't lucky, you have the worst. I mean the worst managers to ever step foot on this planet. Like, these people graduated school and went to college just to learn how to be an annoying person. And something you'll realize pretty quickly when you're just starting retail is the amount of unrealistic expectations that are set on you every day.
Okay, I'm gonna be quick. But I remember, on average, a worker would, at the grocery store I worked at, on average, a worker would move about like 800 product max the entire shift. I remember we had a truck. We had an entire truck. Me and my coworker, who was like 70. Me being barely 20, and my coworker was 70. We were expected to move a 4,000 item truck. Oh, it was 3,000 items. Sorry, I messed up the number. 3,000 items. You know what that means? It doesn't mean individual items. No. So if you have a pack of like, let's put it this way, a jelly container, a glass container that has jelly in it. There's 18 of those in one box. 18 of those in one box. The one box was one item. There was 3,000 of those. So 3,000 times 18. Let's do the math. Let's do the math real quick. 3,000. We'll bring the number down. We'll say on average, I think like cat food and glass jelly bottles and like soda. I think on average, most boxes had about, we'll say 8 items. That's 24,000 items that 2 people were supposed to put on a shelf. One of them being 70 years old and the other guy, me, being basically a child. Like, I was barely 20. That's insane. And they were like, yeah, you can do that. We brought it up with our manager. We were like, yeah, man, we're just not going to be able to do this. He's like, yeah, you can. Guess what? We fucking didn't. We only did half of it because when you think about it, we have to put all the items on a big cart. There's a big cart. It's shaped like a U. It's called a U-boat. You put all the items on there. You got to break down the truck. The truck driver or whoever's in the back, they move a pallet. The pallet is stacked up to the ceiling with items. You got to put those. You'll be like, okay, that's aisle 5. That's aisle 6. That's aisle 10. That's aisle 5. That's aisle 10. That's aisle 10. That's aisle 5. That's aisle 6. It takes a while just to do that. And then by 1 a.m., 4 hours from leaving time, we get everything out to the aisles. Then what? You think in 4 hours we're going to move 24,000 items onto the shelf? Me and a guy who should be retired? And you won't take no for an answer? It's insane. Like, the mental gymnastics make me believe that, like, managers are all psychopaths. Like, you have to be a psychopath to be a manager. And I genuinely, borderline, my experience, maybe you out there, you have a great manager. I genuinely believe there has to be something wrong with you for you to truly want to be a manager. Like, no, not even want to be a manager. The people who get manager positions are just, they don't have empathy, they don't care. You either get it done or you get fired. It's a crazy mentality. Like, it's actually insane. It makes me believe in hell.
You'll walk into work and probably have about like 5 tasks assigned to you. And throughout the day, you'll get more and more, which then makes it completely impossible to complete your whole list because you're only there for 8 hours. Not even accounting for all the customer interactions, searching for things, different side quests and stuff. There's no way for you to possibly get it done in 8 hours. And I want to say...
Yeah, that's another thing. They'll be like, yeah, you got 5 items. You can do it in 8 hours. They don't count handling the register. They don't count helping customers. They don't count, things that come up. They don't account for that. They don't account. They're like, yeah, your schedule should be perfect. Yeah. They don't account any misplaced time. It's crazy. Like, it's this rule of, it's like this, they think that everything is a perfect cog in a perfect machine. It's like, no, I'm a slippery little eel. You try to pick me up, I'm like, oops, I gotta go help this customer. You try to pick me up, I'm like, oops, I gotta handle this register. Oops, this guy needs this item. Oops, this guy wants a refund. You know what I mean? Every time you try to pick up the little slippery eel that I am, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm putting you in this aisle. Fix it. Put all the stuff on the shelf. It's like, oh, well, something just broke, I gotta clean it up. You know what I mean? Oh, this guy needs help because this thing is super heavy. This guy's U-boat tipped over, so I gotta help him clean all that shit up. And we gotta take it all back to the back. All the broken stuff, we gotta take it to the back so that one guy can file it for us.
No matter how many times...
They just don't account for, like, any mistakes or any, like, anything other than the task they give you. The task they give you, nothing else exists in the world, and they expect it all to be done.
Times they try to make it feel like it's your fault. It is not your fault, bro. As someone who's been working in retail for about 2 years now, I can confidently say there has never been a day where something that was planned before has went 100% perfectly. There's just so much going on every day at retail that's kind of hard to stay on task, especially when you have customers that clearly see you in a Walmart vest, in a Walmart...
Oh, yeah. I mean, customers are a great, like, variable. They...
stop you just...
Oh yeah, he'll probably explain it.
To ask you if you work there. Like, nah, I just wanted to LARP as a Walmart worker for 8 hours a day. What do you think? And that's just one of the many phrases you'll hear from customers every single day. But the main phrase you should be getting used to hearing every single day is, do you guys have this in the back?
Oh my god. I remember one guy asked me that. He was like, here, let me do this. So it's...
Get used to him.
Yeah, I just wanted to change it so it wasn't just a black screen. What the fuck is that? But this guy, he asked me, and this was like during COVID. This was like that time. This is right about when I quit my job, was during COVID. The guy asked, he's like, hey, you got any milk? If you remember toilet paper, milk, creamer, we were out of stock in all of those. Everyone stocked up like it was the end of the world and ruined it for everyone else. This guy comes up, he's like, hey, you got any milk in the back? I'm like, no, we don't have any milk. We put all our milk out immediately because it sells. Like, we had someone in the freezer just like putting all the milk, putting all the this, all the that up immediately before they even broke down their load. So they'd be like, oh, there's milk right there in this big pallet. Let me take that out, put it in the thing. Because it would sell immediately. They would just put it out immediately. There was no point organizing it because the second you put it there, someone's going to take it. And so he comes up, he's like, he's like, you got any milk? And I'm like, I'm sorry, we don't. We put all the milk out immediately. And he's like, can you go check in the back? And I'm like, and I'm doing something out in the aisle. I'm trying to do stuff out in the aisle, and he's like, he wants me to go in the back, check through the whole thing, the whole back freezer, just to see if we have milk for him, after I just explained to him why we don't have milk. And I said, oh, if there's any milk, it'll be right. I try to talk to him. I don't remember exactly what I said, but he's like, can you please just go check? Like, he's losing his patience at me. Like I have control of the milk. You want me to squirt it out my own titties? What do you want from me, bro? So I go in the back. You know what I do? I go in the back. I get on my phone for a little bit. Cause I'm just wasting his fucking time. Because fuck you, right? And I listen. I understand. Sometimes you really need something. And it's like, hey man, just go check in the back for me. I get that you're stupid and you don't understand how it works. But like, and you know what? I was like, you know what? Let me check. And I check. I go around, nothing. Because guess what? I know how this store works. I come back and I say, yeah, there's just no milk. And he's just like, he's mad about it. I'm like, sorry, man. Everyone's taking the milk. It's like the toilet paper. We didn't even, you know what we did for the toilet paper during COVID? We didn't even pull it out of the thing. We just took the toilet paper, we just threw it on the shelf. Now, none of it, not one single thing of toilet paper was on the right spot. We just threw it all up there. By the nighttime, it would all be gone. It would all be gone. All of it. All of it. I don't know why people had to wipe their ass so much. COVID didn't make you have diarrhea. You know what I mean? But like, we weren't even bothered putting it up on the right spot. It was like zombies, bro. They were just eating as much as they could.
Hearing that pretty much every single day, because no matter how many times you try to explain that you don't have that item in the back, they're still gonna want you to go back there and magically pull it out. And
yes,
then when you go back there and just dance for a little bit because you know you're not finding it, well, one Walmart employee did it for me, why can't you? I can't magically make this item appear. And then you already know what the next line is. Can I speak to your manager? Before working retail, I didn't think people actually spammed that. I thought it was just a meme. No.
Okay, so when the peanut story I mentioned earlier, or no, the bag story I mentioned earlier.
Oh, I was so wrong. And
okay, but so this guy ordered peanuts. He was like, yeah, can I get a 2-pound bag for it? Because I gave him a 1-pound bag of peanuts, right? It was 1 pound of peanuts, so I put it in a 1-pound bag. A 1-pound bag is about this big. A 2-pound bag is about this big. It's very large. And you know what the 2-pound bags? The 2-pound bags are very thick, and they're rather expensive. And so my manager and my boss say, hey, don't give out the 2-pound bags to anyone. And so this guy, he orders his peanuts, and he's like, yeah, can I get a 2-pound bag for this? And I'm 17! And I politely say, so I'm a child. And so I politely say, I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, the 2-pound bags are kind of reserved. And he goes like, I was scared. He literally went like, I was like I went like this. I was like, is he gonna kill me? I thought he was. I'm not joking. I thought he was gonna attack me. He looked so mad. And he starts yelling at me so the whole fucking store can hear. This was at the farmer's market. This was at the peanut and candy shop. Mind you, it's a nut and peanut. It's a candy and nut shop. The most whimsical place on earth. And I'm a child. And most of my coworkers are children. And he's like about to fight me over this. I'm just doing what I'm told. And so my older coworker, who was, you know, like twice my age, right? He starts yelling at me. I don't remember what he said. I was like stun locked. Because there were other customers waiting to be served. And so, let me drink water. My throat's getting dry. And so there are other customers waiting to be served. And he's yelling at me, break up the whole line. He's not paying for his order. His 1 pound of peanuts. And so my coworker says, just give him the 2-pound bag. And I'm not trying to fight, right? I don't care. I'm just doing what I'm told by my higher-ups. And so we give him the 2-pound bag, and he's like, I want to speak to your manager. After we give him what he wants, he goes over to my manager. My manager Bless her soul. This was my first job. My manager, I'll never have one like her again. That guy goes over to her, starts complaining, and she's like, get the fuck out of here. Oh my god, bro. She literally was like, get the fuck out of here. 2 pound, 1 pound, get the fuck out of here. You're stupid. Like, she did it. He never showed up again. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. There might be a Lord watching down on me right now. Oh my god. I've never felt more vindicated in my life. Because, like, again, I was a child. I was socially awkward. It was my first job. I felt weird and out of place. And I was in the nut and candy stop that was, like, in the center of the store. So, all eyes on me. It was the brightest, most colorful shop in the whole farmer's market. All eyes on me. And so I'm feeling, like, extra tense, like, at all times. Because I'm young and I'm awkward. So I feel weird. And then naturally, to have someone stand up for you like that, just be like, what, 1 pound back, 2 pound, who cares? Get out of here. You know what I mean? Bless her soul. I hope she's doing all right.
Fortunate for me, I had a manager that would always side with the customer no matter what. So even if the customer asked an unrealistic thing, it would still be my fault. I think one of the best ways to describe retail work is like playing a game of Among Us for 8 hours, but you're consistently being accused of the imposter. But the imposter in this case is just lazy work.
Yeah, that's the problem, bro. Like, there's some places where a customer complains, it doesn't matter, it's all your fault. I hate that shit where the customer's always right. No, some of you are dickheads, and you gotta learn that shit don't go your way. It's crazy. These adults, the adults, back when I started working my first job, they're like, things aren't gonna be your way. The world is tough. But then when they can't get their extra salty cashews, they gotta throw a fit like a toddler. Like, come on.
You literally have to backtrack everything you did and tell them every single step you took while being in the store. And on some occasions, even have to have second backing from somebody else. And it's so weird because you could be doing a task that you were asked to do and a manager will walk right past you and see you doing the task, but then later accuse you of not doing it. But the coworker that's not
I've never had that before.
actually doing anything gets off scot-free and they love it.
I used to get in trouble, right? I used to get in trouble at a place I used to work, right? I used to get in trouble because, you know, I would miss this, or like, let's say we needed this on the table, like we needed an extra ketchup bottle on this table, or we needed an extra mustard bottle on this table, and I'd be busy doing something. else. My boss would be like, yeah, you missed a spot here. You got to put a ketchup bottle here. It's like, I'm grabbing stuff out of the oven. Can you wait? It's like, can you take care of that? It's like, I'm doing something right now. And then my coworker who would sit on his phone on Instagram Reels, it's always Instagram Reels, would sit on his phone on Instagram Reels, who was a friend of my manager, by the way. It's all friends, they're all in cahoots, it's an actual scam. He was a friend of the manager, and he would sit there on his phone, and he would be making boxes. You know, box duty, you gotta make boxes for the food, you gotta fold them, right? Put the little thing in. He would just sit on his phone, he would make 1 box in an hour. With the manager there. Nobody say anything. Nobody say a goddamn thing. That's the same one. I told the story about how I called, this was the husband and wife, which I called the husband stupid for doing shit like that, and the wife started crying and the whole workplace got up in arms. It's that guy. It's that same guy. I'm not really telling that story because, oh my god, I don't want to talk about it.
If you're someone who's actually trying to work hard and do a good job, be prepared to be punished. Because I promise you, your coworker that's not doing anything will get more praise than you'll ever get. You'll look over and you'll be busting your ass just for that guy to be on his phone not doing anything. Just scrolling TikTok and showing up for a free paycheck. I wish I was joking. Another thing about retail is that...
Well, that's the problem too, right? If you do more work, you make up for their lack of work. Just do your bare minimum. No, I'm serious. Just do your bare minimum. That's it. Take 4 bathroom breaks, bro. Go to the bathroom a 5th time. You gotta pee real bad. You've been drinking too much coffee. Go to the bathroom 10 minutes. 20 minutes. Go to the bathroom 20 minutes. Don't come back out. If you work too hard, you're gonna be doing the work that the other guy isn't doing. So just Take it slow, man. Take it slow. Because they're gonna get away scot. They're probably gonna get away scot-free. Don't break your back, bro. Don't break your back.
It's basically a high school part 2. After working there for a while, you'll start hearing rumors about yourself that you didn't even know was true. People are so bored at that job that they'll start making rumors for no reason. I had a coworker at my last job start a rumor that all the managers were having a freak off in the manager's office. Yeah, I don't even know, bro.
What the fuck? A freak off? Yeah, I've never had rumors spread around, but yeah. 9 types of people in high school. I'm way out of high school. I don't even want to think about high school, but hey, St. Bryce, hell yeah. I'll follow. Cool. That was a fun video. Retail is hell. TLDR. I hope you enjoyed. This will be a YouTube video. I actually do it this time. But hey, if you enjoyed today's video, if you enjoyed me watching someone else's video today, make sure to subscribe. There's probably like 2% of you subscribed or something. I haven't looked at the analytics or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Just do it. Just, you know. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, show up next time. Same thing, different day. But until next time, stay take care of yourself. And have a great day. No, not to be on my time zone. You're wrong. Sorry, this is how it is. But until then, stay big, my saucelings. And I'll see you in the next one.